Hey guys, this is me, it's Gemstone from www.thebeautyinspirit.com. I hope you guys are having a really good week. Now, even though I began this video like I'm doing a weekly reading, I'm not doing one. Today, I'm going to be talking to you about the Merkabah crystal quartz that I purchased. Now, this came to me in a very magical way. Very magical. So magical, I had to share it with you guys, and I love it. I've had it since my birthday. I purchased it for myself as a gift to myself from Spirit, because Spirit led me to this, and I'll tell you how. And since this crystal has been in my possession, I'm telling you, things have been happening to me. Things have been happening. And the only other time that I've experienced a crystal as powerful as this is when I was working with Moldavite. I think I was working with Moldavite not last year, but the year before last. And when I was working with that crystal like closely, things were happening that was like, what in the world? Like, it was like that. And this is kind of, it's taking the same effect, but it's different. The effects are very different. So I'll have to discuss Modify in another video, but this one is so amazing. And I think the reason why it's so powerful is because of the fact that it is shaped like the Merkabah, because I've used clear quartz before, and I have to say clear quartz, even though it is a highly spiritual stone, it wasn't my favorite to work with. Like, if I was to pick another stone, maybe apart from Moldavite, that I liked on a sort of spiritual level that I resonated with, I'll probably pick amethyst much more, like, over clear quartz, because I just seem to attract amethyst. Like, amethyst, I don't know if amethyst loves me or I just love amethyst, but I just always seem to attract amethyst crystals. Like, a lot of the time I have to stop myself from purchasing amethyst, like, it's too much. But yeah, when it comes to this clear quartz though, ooh, is powerful. So I'm gonna tell you basically what has been happening to me since I bought this. Now, the way that I even got it is like crazy anyways. I mean, I woke up on my birthday and I felt quite like out of sorts. I wasn't in that good of a mood. And because there were some things that were going on that kind of put me in a funk, and I just felt I just I guess I just felt disappointed to a certain extent because of things that had happened. And so I just decided that I'm just gonna do a reading. I do readings for myself every day anyways. I always pull cards. But what I did on that day, because it was my birthday, something told me, get all your tarot, the oracle cards, and some tarot cards that you love, like the ones that you feel so connected with, and do a huge reading. Like, just pick one card from each of them and just put them together and just read them. So that's what I did. And one of the cards, the decks that I love and I've told you guys about, and I've read from that deck twice for you guys in the weekly reading, is the numerology deck. I can't remember the person that does it, but I also gave it away in a giveaway as well. The winner like selected it. That deck is amazing. I love that deck. It's very special to me. That's one of them decks that, like, as soon as I used it, I just clicked with it and the messages just came through so clear. And even if I read with using the deck for someone else, the messages are always so clear. And I think it's the vibration that that deck carries with it. One, because it's purple, and purple connects with the higher chakra, crown chakra, and everything. And I also think it's very powerful because on each of the cards has the Merkabah on the card, so it's a highly spiritual deck. And yeah, so I picked a card from it, and funnily enough, I got the spirituality card 7/7. And I was like, wow. And I looked at the card, and basically where I placed that card, it ended up being in the center of the deck. And so that told me that, this card, it has an even deeper meaning than even everything else that is surrounding it. Because usually the central card is the heart of the issue. Like, no matter where it appears in a spread, like this, the card in the middle usually is like, even if you didn't pay attention to the rest, the center card will tell you, like, yeah, this is what is really, really, really going on. So I looked at that card and I looked at the Merkabah on it, and something told me, you have to go and get a clear quartz Merkabah, you have to get it with a clasp on it, like it has on here, so that you can wear it around your neck. And it also told me where I could get it from. They said you go to Mysteries in Covent Garden, and they will have it there. And I was like, wow, like, oh my gosh, like that's what I have to do today. I have to go, and I have to go to Mysteries, Covent Garden, and get my Merkabah pendant. And funnily enough, a few days before my birthday, I was watching Valerie Love's Boost show, and she had someone on her show that was showing these, because she had recently bought some, but her ones were all different shapes, and she had one that was a Merkabah one. And to be honest, I had never seen it before, but when I was watching the video, I was just like, oh wow, that's cute, like I've never seen those shapes before. But I didn't feel any urge to get it. I didn't feel any urge to research it, look for it, nothing. And it wasn't until like I did that reading and I saw that card that just intuitively, like my guide spirits was just telling me, you have to go and get this Merkabah today, and they will have it in Mysteries. So I went and got dressed because it was my birthday. I made sure I got all cute and stuff. And then I left the house, and then I went straight to Mysteries, and lo and behold, right next to the window was a display cabinet, and these were on there. They had clear quartz, amethyst, and rose quartz. And I felt a little bit guided to go for the amethyst, just because, like I said, amethyst loves me. but my spirit was like, no, you don't get the amethyst one. You have to get the clear quartz one, because that's the one you need to work with. And I was like, okay, I'll get it. So I spoke to the lady at the store, and I told her a bit about the whole story about that led me here. And she was like, oh wow, that's so fascinating. And so we were talking for a bit, and then I bought it, and then I left the store. I went around Covent Garden for a bit. I went to some other spiritual stores, and funnily enough, the other spiritual stores I went to, for real, Mysteries was the only one that did the Merkabah crystal quartz that had the pendant. Another store I went to, it had the crystal Merkabah, and it was bigger than this, but it had no pendant. But for some reason, Spirit was really adamant that it had to have a pendant so that I could wear it. And so yeah, so from then, I don't know, I started to feel a bit different. I felt a bit better, but the shift in my mood didn't come until the next day. So what happened the next day was I had a dream. Like that night that I purchased this, I had a dream, and the dream was very vivid. It was very clear. And then something I have to tell you is I haven't been able to remember my dreams for ages. I can't tell you when last I remembered a dream that I had, because supposedly they say that you dream every night. It's just that sometimes you don't remember them. So I guess that's what's been happening to me. So that night I had a dream that I remembered. It was very clear. There was 3 snakes in my dream. 3 large python snakes, and they were in a case. And the case was massive. And so I'm in this room. There's nothing else in this room but this huge case with these 3 snakes in it. And I say a case because it's not a cage. Like, they're not stuck inside of this thing. It's almost like it was a case that was made for them, but they can move in it, kind of thing. And so I'm standing in front of this case, and there's 2 huge white snakes on either side, and in the middle there's a slightly smaller black snake. And what was really interesting is, with me personally, I'm scared of snakes. I'm petrified of snakes. But in this dream, I wasn't scared at all. I wasn't scared of none of the snakes. In fact, the one that was in the middle, it seemed to be mine, like it was my pet. And so I remember thinking in the dream that, these 2 other snakes are quite bigger than the one in the middle. But the one in the middle was my snake. So I was thinking, oh, my snake will be okay. They're not going to attack my snake. But then as soon as I thought that, these 2 other snakes, they came up like this, and they went like that, and they just started attacking my other snake. And my snake, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I went in and I grabbed it like this, and I'm pulling it like to save it, but they wouldn't stop. And then I guess in the dream, I came out of the dream, and then I kind of like freaked out, and so then the dream stopped, And it felt so real. Like when I got up out of it, I literally felt like there were snakes like around me. Like I was freaking out for a bit, which doesn't happen to me often. Like even if I have a dream, most of the time I can tell I'm dreaming. Like so, it's like I don't feel emotionally like attached in any kind of way to what is happening. So even if something could be happening in the dream that probably is a bit weird or stuff, usually I don't feel scared because I know, or like I'm just dreaming. But in this case, it actually did feel real. So that's what made me think like this is some kind of vision or something. Like there's something special about this dream. So I spoke to my cousin about it and I was telling her what I thought it meant. And then she was like, well, why don't you do some more research? Like, because she's into dreams as well, like, and researching dream meaning. She was like, why don't you do some more research and sort of find out, like, what do the different colors of the snakes mean and all this other stuff. So I did that. And the conclusion that I came to, another thing I have to tell you as well is I remembered that in my animal spirits deck, was it animal spirits? No, it's not. No, animal whispers deck. There's a snake card in there, and on that card it said renewal and transformation. That's what the snake card said, and I read the meaning and that's what it came up with. And the funny thing is that this Merkabah pendant is about the same thing. It's about renewal and transformation. It's about your spirituality, your spiritual connection, deepening your spiritual connection with source, and basically transforming on a spiritual level. So that was really interesting to me. So I decided to dig in more, find out some more information. And then it turns out that what the dream was really trying to communicate to me is it was about me being in my own power and strength. And it was about me standing up for myself and not being influenced by other people, not being sidetracked by other people. Because do you know what? There can be so many stuff you want to do in your life, but if you don't have the right kind of people around you to really support you, then it's almost like you can feel held back, or you can be influenced by those people and not be able to do the things that you really want to do. And it seems that that's what the dream was sort of trying to indicate to me, that there are some people that may be trying to hold you back from the things that you want to do, but it was telling me you have to go ahead and you have to do it anyway. You have to be in your strength and be in your power. And the same way I was willing, to fight those snakes to protect my one, it's like almost like telling me you have to be prepared to fight for what it is that you want. And I was like, wow, like that was so interesting. And then tonight I had another dream as well. That dream I have to look into myself, but it didn't feel like as spiritual as this other dream. But I think it's really interesting that since I've been using this, like I've been remembering dreams. So I think if you want to remember your dreams, this might be a really good crystal to get, and make sure it's a Merkabah one. I think the things that I've really been seeing working with this crystal is one, there's a lot of synchronicity as well. A lot of synchronistic events have been happening too, because since I had that dream that connected with this crystal, I've been getting, even just hearing other readings. Because even when I on my Facebook, I have two Facebooks. I have a personal one and then my beauty and spirit one. My personal one, I have some other readers that are also on my Facebook. And so one of them, she did a reading that was, she picked 3 random cards and just said select the one that you resonate with. I picked the Emperor. And then it turned out that and then she went into the meaning, and she was talking about the same things that like came up in my dream. She was talking about um being in your strength and moving forward, doing what you know you have to do, not being influenced by other people, all that stuff. And it's like there's been so many things that have been going on with me recently, because there's a lot of changes happening in my life, and it's almost like the dream was telling me, not to give in, and don't give up, and keep on working hard and plowing forward, because you're going somewhere with this. And I just wanted to tell you guys as well that if you're going through a similar experience where there's a lot of changes and a lot of things going on in your life, and you might be feeling like, am I really going somewhere with this? You really are going somewhere. Sometimes you just can't see where it's leading to at the time, but things are moving forward. And I almost feel like it's really telling me that the path I'm going down is following my destiny, and in me following my destiny is about my life purpose that I am exploring. And and the interesting thing when it comes to this crystal is I feel like when a crystal comes to you, it's not necessarily because you have to learn a lesson from that crystal. I think it's more that it's almost like you have to be on the same energy wavelength of that crystal in order for it to be drawn to you. You know, like when I've there's been a number of times where I felt spiritually guided to go out and get a crystal. Like I was telling you guys in one of my amethyst videos, how I felt really drawn to going out and buying an amethyst wand. It's like at that in that moment when you feel drawn to that crystal, it's because something in you is needing it at that time. It's almost like that, the saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. It's like that kind of thing. Like when you're ready to embrace a change, when you're ready for something to be coming through, that's when the crystal will usually pop up and be like, yeah, get me, because I can help you with this, the kind of thing. So yeah, I would definitely recommend working with this crystal if you are really seeking some kind of spiritual transformation. Definitely work with it. If you are really wanting clarity, that's another thing that has definitely been happening with me. Since I bought this crystal, it's like I can see where I'm going. Because also what clear quartz, and this is any clear quartz, what clear quartz is really good for is your psychic abilities, connecting with spirits as well. Clear quartz can be really good with. That's why a lot of readers tend to use clear quartz in their readings, because it does help you to see messages, especially spiritual messages, with more clarity. So that's probably why I got that dream in the first place, because it's almost like spirit wants to show you, okay, this is what is going on in your life, or this is what you need to do. Or sometimes spirit just wants to give you a confirmation that, yeah, you are going on the right path. And I think for me, that's what that dream was about. And I think that the reason why it became really clear to me is because of working with this crystal. And it's almost like I can see what my life purpose really is. And because of it, it's made me so much happier, because now I don't feel like I'm in the fog. And yeah, it's made such a difference to my mood. Since I've had it, I've been happier. I've been feeling better. I've been feeling good, which is amazing. So yeah, I would say this is worth working with. This crystal is really worth going out and buying, and it's not very expensive. In Mysteries, I paid £9 for it. You can get it on eBay for like £7 something. A pendant just like this. Um, and if you feel guided to, you could even try like some of the other stones that are also shaped as a Merkabah. But I would say, yeah, definitely get one that is shaped like a Merkabah though, because I feel like it has like an additional power to it. Because like I told you guys, when I was working with like the ordinary kind of clear quartz, it was okay, but I wasn't feeling anything like really like powerful coming from it. But this one, it definitely has something really powerful and highly spiritual about it. And Merkabahs as well, they are about that transformation energy. So if you are really like in the process of something, or you feel like you're you're on sort of the, what's the right way of saying it, if you feel like you are transforming, there's things in your life that's transforming, then you definitely feel guided to work with this crystal, and see what comes forward for you. So yes, that's only a crystal. Oh, I really love it. All right, I'll see you guys. Bye.